Yo, how's it going guys? Welcome back to a new video. In today's video, we shall be looking at the top 5 easiest heroes to use. These are the heroes that new players, especially those who are just casual players and are not hardcore grinders, can use. Because they are so simple to use and you don't always need to use complicated controls and tactics to use these heroes. And without wasting any time, let's get straight into the video. Starting from number 5, we have Christina. Christina is one of the first heroes you unlock in T3 Arena, and honestly, from my opinion, when I first used her, she was really easy to use. The damage was good, and her abilities were all very dangerous. You know, she's generally a relatively easy hero to use. The one issue that I would say about Christina is there are many situations, especially if you're going up against good players, you need to train yourself to use the manual fire, and step a bit away from the auto fire. Auto fire is good with heroes like Mark, Gloria, Skadi, but with heroes like Christina and Sindri, heroes that don't have like traditional guns that fire very fast bullets, you have to train yourself to use the manual fire because it allows you to choose where you want your projectiles to land. It also allows you to bounce your shots off the walls, which you cannot do with manual fire. Her sticky grenades can also be used as traps, You can leave them at the exits and entrances of the enemy team's spawn point and, you can do some good damage. Yeah, so I think that's it for Christina. Then moving on to number 4, we have Skadi. Now Skadi is, I think, the very first hero that you use, and she's pretty straightforward. She carries, I think it's a revolver, some kind of pistol that does decent amount of damage. You realize that you always need around, I think 3 or 4 shots to get the kill in most scenarios. But if you get the headshots, if you go for the headshots, now most heroes will fall in, I think, around 2 shots. Her gun is pretty easy to aim. She doesn't have a lot of recoil that you have to worry about. You can easily aim for those headshots and get them. And her abilities are also very helpful. Her first ability can really help you to make the enemies remain in one place, and that allows you to get the headshots. Whenever you use the first ability, make sure you go for the headshots because that's your chance. The enemy is not moving and you can always go for the headshots. And then her ultimate is very effective in situations when you have to push enemies away or finish off enemies who are in the same place and have low health. Yeah, so she's generally an easy hero to use, not that hard. The only thing you have to practice is your movement. Jump around, move side to side, of which you have to do this with most of the heroes. And then moving on to the next hero that is easy to use, we have Mark in number 3. Now with Mark, we have to first of all appreciate how much damage that he puts out. Especially if you keep that gun focused on the head, enemies will fall pretty quickly. He carries an assault rifle that fires at a high rate and can also take out enemies at long ranges. His ability is the rocket. Doesn't do so much damage, but can definitely finish off enemies who have already taken a lot of damage. Or you could use the rocket to take off some HP of the enemy and then finish them off with your gun. And then his ultimate, he scans and reveals all the enemies on the map and does extra damage to those revealed enemies. This is just a great advantage because his gun already does a lot of damage even on its own. So to scan enemies, they will fall pretty quickly. Yeah, and with Mark, you don't have to worry about manual fire. You can always use auto fire and take out enemies just as well as a good player using manual fire. That's it for Mark. Pretty easy for new players to use. And then moving on to the next hero on this list, we have Gloria. Now Gloria is also one of the first 2 or 3 heroes that you unlock. She carries a rapid fire shotgun as her default weapon, and then her ability comes in form of an entirely different gun. And this is a very strong assault rifle that does a lot of damage, but at the same time it has a lot of recoil. So you need to be able to keep your gun on the target, because as you fire bullets, you're going to lose accuracy because of the recoil. Yeah, but once you get a hang of that, then she's pretty easy to use. Her ultimate is that kind of grenade that she throws that prevents enemies from moving, and then it explodes. And it's really easy to use, you know. You don't have to be tactical with it like with her second ultimate. That's it for Gloria. Moving on to number 1. The easiest hero to use in the game right now, in my opinion, is Sindri. Now Sindri has some kind of drone that she places on the ground called a rage ball, and this rage ball shoots at any target that is in sight. Sindri can call it back at any time she wants, or let it get destroyed. But if it gets destroyed, then it takes her longer to place it down again. And then her ultimate is the rage ball upgrade that quickly melts anything in its path. Very few heroes can survive the rage ball upgrade once it starts melting them at a very high rate. So the reason she's very easy to use is all you have to do is basically place your drone down and play around the drone, because the drone is doing damage to the enemies, and at the same time you can move around and do damage to the same enemies. So it's basically like having an extra player on the field. You know, it's really effective. And then her gun is decent. I wouldn't say it's a very good gun. You know, it fires a few projectiles which do damage when they hit the target, but you know, they are not very fast, so you have to kind of think about where you're firing your projectiles, or just discard the auto fire altogether and use manual fire with this hero. So Sindri, in my opinion, is the easiest hero to use in the game, and I would definitely advise new players to use this hero, especially to gain trophies fast. Yeah, so that's it for Sindri. And with that said, that's my top 5 easiest heroes to use in T3 Arena. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for future videos. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Even though you told me to get back your heart, still spinning inside your orbit. I should probably start to walk away. I'm hoping that you're still make me have to stay, 'cause I'm floating in your orbit.